let's take a trip down the memory lane. Overwatch comes out and it's a massive success. People are really hyped. Everyone is making porn of the characters, which brings in a brand new audience because you got all these coomers that are like, wow, this character is interesting. Oh, it's from a video game. Oh, I'll buy the video game. So it actually becomes a worldwide phenomenon. But unfortunately, the people that run it seem to suffer from mental deficiency. They thought that what the community needed was censorship. So they start swinging away the big fat ban hammer for anyone that makes jokes. You know, they don't like Japanese people saying nigero in the game. People spamming emotes, banned. People playing Torbjorn in attack, even though they seem to be like high rank players, banned. They were banning people left and right. Now, what's interesting is that the man in charge went by the name of Kaplan. And Kaplan appears on my computer monitor looking at me with disdain and disgust like I fucked his mom or something. And he's very displeased with me. He's incredibly displeased with me. Even though I bought the game, even though I put food on his table by purchasing loot boxes, he looks at me as if I'm some sort of piece of shit. And then he opens his mouth and articulates what his issues is with me. You see, because people like myself have a potty mouth, because I haven't censored the community enough, and I didn't tell the other dude bros, hey, do not make offensive jokes. Hey, Japanese people, I know that the word nigero means run in your language, but can you please stop using it? It's offending the Americans, right? Because of that, we're not going to get any new patches for a while. We're not going to get any new champions because, you know, Kaplan has to work hard on what really is the product in this game, and that is moderation. Like, that is what he likes doing. That is his soul. So he needs to divert all of the mission critical resources into that, right? Because that's the inclusivity part. Like, how can you have inclusivity if you don't ban everyone? So we got the memo, right? Like, no new characters for the foreseeable future because the community is naughty. The community is being filled with cheeky little shits and Kaplan just can't have it. Now, the reason players were upset is because the deal was you buy the game, and it was a full price game, by the way, but you buy the game, and then they will give you updates. So you buy the game, you support it by buying their loot boxes, and then every month or so they will release a new champion, they will release a new character. And they released a couple, I'm not going to lie, but people expected a lot more. And finally, we are aware of why they're not releasing more. You see, it's not just because they had to focus on moderation and pleasing Anita Sarkeesian by adding old characters in the game. I'm not even kidding. Like, she made a video bitching that Overwatch doesn't have old characters, and then they had to add Anna, I think, in order to please the actual customers, you know, the actual important people. But the reason they weren't adding more characters because Overwatch 2 was coming out. It's like, did we ask for this? Did we need it? Like, I don't remember League of Legends 2 coming out, you know? Like, why are they doing this? Well, apparently, it's going to have PvE, and it's going to have new maps and new modes. It's going to be awesome, right? And it's in development. And I remember, like, them showing, oh, every hero is going to have talent trees, and you're going to unlock them, and it's going to be so fucking cool. It's going to be so amazing. And then you notice that they made some of the models more ugly. Like, I'm not kidding. I think I made a video comparing it. It's like, usually when you expect a sequel, the models need to look prettier, but for some reason, they just look more ugh. Whatever, it wasn't a big deal at the time, but, the game eventually comes out in the beta, and people are playing it, and they're saying, wait, hold on a little bit, like, this is Overwatch 1. But then you had, like, an army of gaslighters, the intelligentsia, the people that I don't like very much, going around and saying, well, it's just a beta. What do you expect? You know, like, the PvE is going to come later. This is just a beta. You guys. Why do people do this, by the way? Because, like, they never come to apologize after the event, right? Like, they're very aggressive. They're like the twats of the internet. Every single time you notice patterns and you're like, okay, there is no such thing as a beta anymore, right? It's 2024. It's not a beta. It's a promo. That's what it is. Like, they're not going to change shit based on the beta feedback. They're just going to use it in order to give you a demo of what the game looks like. So, like, people were rightfully complaining. It's like, hold on a little bit. Overwatch 2 is exactly the same as Overwatch 1. There's no difference whatsoever, except for the fact that they are making it now 5v5. Now, I even know why they were making it 5v5. See, I have insider knowledge. The reason they were making it 5v5 is because a lot of players were dropping. And you can also tell this, even if you don't believe my insider sources, of the fact that they decided to put the game on Steam. Like, that's how desperate they are. You know, like Blizzard, it's got its own launcher, it's got Battle.net, and they would like to keep it that way. But they were forced to actually put this game on Steam because the community base was becoming so small that they had to give it away in order to get more players to keep the game alive. So that's why they made it 5v5, not for gameplay reason or mechanics, right? But regardless, this was the biggest change. Like, this was the most different thing, especially if you played competitively. God knows why you would do that. The fact that now it's 5v5 did change the course of the game, and it made the matches a little bit more different. You also had a couple of new maps, which, again, should have been added for free because they weren't that impressive. And on top of that, well, there's no more PvE, right? So they announced finally, oh yeah, that beta, yeah, no, that's the game. Like, you're not getting shit. So all of a sudden, no one apologizes for it. Like, I wanted those people to come in front of me and kneel, fucking kneel, and look at me with awe and admiration because I could predict something that they couldn't. They should have asked themselves, like, how does V do it? How does he see the grand tapestry of the universe? How is he able to call things out before they actually happen? And maybe I would have shared some of my wisdom with them out of pity and compassion. But since no one kneeled in front of me begging for my apology, I did not. So, alright, let's recap. There's no PvE. The only thing that you get is the 5v5, really. And now they're going to take the 5v5 away. So I have to say, like, this is probably the first game in history where the quote-unquote sequel is now rolling back. Like, in order to achieve perfection, they have to roll back to the way it was. And by the way, they have some of the most disgusting and like, unappealing looking characters that they have ever added. Like, the latest character, oh my god, the design's so lazy. You probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm not going to show pictures. A lot of YouTubers, like, they show pictures and trailers, and it's like, no, it's fine, this is fine. You know what I'm talking about. If you like Overwatch, you're aware. But, like, suffice to say, the non-binary character, yeah, there's probably no porn of it, for good reasons. All the other characters, they do have porn. That one doesn't. And I think that if it would, the artist would have just sacrificed hours of his life for nothing, because no one would watch it. Unless if they want to be disgusted, you know, like, there are certain medical conditions where, like, a spider bites you and you get a boner and you die after 24 hours. Yeah, if you watch porn of that character from Blizzard, probably it saves your life. But, yeah, no, I think they did that in order to make Zarya look good, because now Zarya looks better because of that character in the game, you know? But anyway, right, all jokes aside, it is absolutely disturbing what's happening with this company, man. It's a company that I grew up with, and it's a company that I love, and it's a company that at one point was a worldwide phenomenon. I mean, you could compare it with Disney, but like what Disney was for movies and animation, Blizzard was for video games for a while. Everyone around the world knew Blizzard, and if Blizzard released a product, people would go out of their way just to be able to buy it. We don't get that anymore, do we? Now it's all, they don't even have an identity. They don't even have a soul. The only thing that they do have is balls. I mean, they have a lot of courage to release an expansion for Diablo 4 around the same time period where Path of Exile is coming. And on top of that, they know how Diablo 4 was received. So they do have massive testicles in order to ask people for money for an expansion pack to that game. Around the same time, Path of Exile comes out for free. Who's in charge of their marketing team? I would love to speak to them. Let me know what you guys think, though, and as usual, I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.